is so cool about what we do as coaches is we get so many choices, but it's as easy to do the things we need to do as it is to skip them. And the only difference between those that stand on the top 10 stage or the elite repeaters or, whatever, however you want to look at it, the millionaires or whatever, the people that have total freedom to do whatever they want, is that they kept doing the unsexy crap that nobody wants to do, right? Like they kept inviting, they kept expanding, they kept doing those things, and that got them to where they are. Now, the key with leadership, though, is you now have to take everything that you're doing and you're going to be teaching it to your team. You know what I mean? Because you can only rise to a certain level alone. And then once you get to that level, you're stuck, because the only way to get up higher is to help your team to rise with you. And you all know that. That's why you're a part of this. But sometimes I feel like we get to diamond and we feel like we should have just woken up. I'm a paid diamond today. I achieved a new rank. I should know everything. That's not true. You're the exact same person you were the day before, but you maybe have a different expectation on yourself, or your team does, or whatever. But how is it that you go from a person that was, emerald working to diamond to now really just letting that be a pause moment to go, awesome, pay bump, sweet, let's move on. And you just keep moving to help other people to rise up to the leader level. How is it that you become the best leader so that you are building a solid business? And that was the whole mastermind behind when we're like, we need to do a 2-star push, but really the focus is going to be building a solid, stable business with people that want to work, not skeleton diamonds or ranks so that you're like falling out every other week. That's frustrating. And so you're building this business according to working with those that want to work. And that way, when you hit 2-star, you're not losing 2-star the next week. That there's nothing worse than that. So just some expectations for this group. And if any of you leaders want to join in or chime in, that's totally fine. In this group, we're not going to have daily assignments. And I think that's really important, because your daily assignments are found on this, your business activity tracker. That one's kind of empty. Okay, that was from Wayla. There we go. Here's a real one of mine. I mean, I use this every day. I've been doing this business for 5 years, and I still use my business activity tracker, because I know when I don't, then my business goes backwards. It's always like there's a correlation between that. So what we want you to be doing every single day is working from your business activity tracker with intention. Don't just check a box to check a box. Like if you're having a recruiting conversation with somebody, is that somebody you would actually really want to work with, that you see a potential in that person? Does that make sense? Because you want to build a tribe of people that are like you, that want to move forward. Don't just throw it out there to somebody just so you can say, okay, I mentioned it, check. You want real intent behind that. Like, what is it that you see in them? Where is it that you're seeing that they're going to go? So if you're working this business activity tracker, you're going to protect your own business first and be able to lead from the front, because you will be hitting Success Club. You will be signing up new coaches. And that's one of the best ways to help your team to know what to do to be successful, right? Plus, this system is so easy to duplicate. So you can hand it to a coach that signed up yesterday and say, do this. Boom. They know exactly what to do, right? So it makes it super simple. So your daily tasks is not, in our particular push that we're doing, it's not going to be to check in every day, like name 3 people, blah, 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 because you guys know how to do that. You're smart. You got to where you are for a reason. But use that page as a way to share ideas, like, what's working for your coach sneak peeks? Like, do you find it better to do an event or to do a sneak peek? Have you met people and done presentations out and about? Are you doing local events? Like things like that, where you're idea sharing and saying, where are you finding your people? What works best for you? And you idea swap. You mastermind together. That's what the page is for. And then you'll see from the different leaders that are running this with me, we'll be posting some best practices. Like, here's things that have really worked for us. And if you see one of us post in there, it's something that we really believe is going to be worth your while. We're not going to make a lot of busy work. Sound fair? Sound good? Are you guys awake? Yeah? Oh, good. It's early. You should be awake. I'm still pumped up on energized, so don't mess with me. Anyway, Just teasing. So expectations, though, are that you're going to hit Success Club 10 this month and sign a minimum of 3 coaches. I think that's minimum. With what you're trying to do, you need to sign a lot more people than that. And here's why. If you're wanting to build a business that's going to grow to 2-star and beyond, to 6-figure business, you want new people coming into your team for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's a numbers game. And so we know on average 1 in 10 people go to Diamond. If you're only signing 2 coaches a month, it's going to take you 5 months at least to get a motivated coach that would want to move on. That's just averages, right, in our company. And so the other reason is anytime you bring on new coaches, they're so stoked and excited about what we're doing. It gets everybody else stoked and fired up. And if your new coach hits Success Club faster than another coach, then another coach goes, wait a minute, I can do that too. And so it gets them all excited. And it's like the first day of school all over again. So you want to make sure that you're signing minimum of 3 coaches this month. I would shoot for more like 6 to 8. And that is just my opinion. Other coaches may say, no, that's way too many. It's up to you. It's your business. Do whatever the heck you want. There's no negativity allowed on the page, right? No negativity. If you have a problem, bring a solution. That's not what it's there for. So this is a page to grow and to learn and to focus on the business. And so if you didn't show up or didn't get your stuff done for whatever reason, then that's on you. You talk to your upline about it and they can come up with a solution for you. Sound good? We are going to have these weekly Zooms. It's your responsibility to be on them or to listen to the playback because there will be an assignment. Yay! Are you so excited about that? You're so glad? Oh, you're welcome. And there's only 1 assignment a week, guys, so it's not going to be a big deal because we want you focusing on your bats and doing the things that you need to do to be successful. And then lastly, if you're not scheduling your own team calls yet, I would say that's now something you should be doing. Once a week, rally your troops together for a Zoom and don't rely on your upline to build that culture on your team. You want to bring your troops together and say, hey, this is us. We're moving forward. Let's do this together. Even if the Zoom is 20 minutes long and you simply go around and say, what's one thing you did well? What's one area you're going to work on? And then that will help them to kind of bond with the team. Okay, who else is on? I see Rhonda and Teresa. Anyone else on? Anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think you covered it all, babe.
Great information, Emma. You're a rock star.
Okay, they're totally tuning me out and Facebooking. No, I'm kidding. I know what you coaches do. I've learned. Okay, so guess what we're going to talk about today? This is one of my favorite things is talking about duplication because honestly, when you sign a new coach, all they want to know is just tell me what you did. Tell me what you did to be successful, and I can do that too. Just show me a to-do list. Show me what did you say? And if you can give them that in a really easy way, then it's going to help them to grow faster and to be way more confident. So what I'm going to go through is how to do a three-way call with your coaches, and then also just an example of what we do on a new coach Zoom to show them ideas so that it makes it really easy for them to have a quick win and so they feel more confident. So I think I'll start with that first. So I'm going to share my screen. This is an actual call I just did with my new coaches, and we challenged them to invite 30 people to a free group that I'm going to be running with Chelsea, and we run it together, and all they have to do is invite to it. So it makes it super simple. So the free group is starting on Monday, and so this is how we went through it. So leading up to the invite, share a healthy tip or recipe every other day for a week. So we're telling them, here is what I want you to do to prep for this. Because all coaches want to know is, what do you do, right? And then we're also sharing, we have a group message thread going on, like different examples of what types of things they should post as their healthy recipe or tip or whatever, just to give them some ideas, but of course they should put their own spin on it. So then we share this sample post. So fact, what you put in your mouth makes the biggest difference in your weight, your energy, your mood, your hormones, so many other things. Food is so powerful. Since today is the new year, obviously you'd change that. I have decided to host a free 5-day clean eating group, yada, yada. So we're literally showing this to our new coaches with an image that shows, okay, you're not using stock photos from the internet, you're using your actual food pics, a picture of your face, and then putting on the picture a clean caption of what it is. So make sure you look happy, you look bright, there's not beer bottles in the background of your picture, and we're just breaking it down so simple that it's easy for them to succeed. Or here's another one. And it's just simple. So it's 2 different verbiages. They can like choose a mix of both, or they can choose one and then kind of just roll with it. And then we told them, or we gave the suggestion of post this at 7 p.m. on Thursday night before the group starts, then do a last call post on Sunday morning. But they've already been prepping the week before with tips from their own things. So, and then here we break down exactly what we do for a follow-up message. So if they liked or commented on your post, hey, how are things going? Thanks for liking, commenting on my post, yada, yada. And what we did on this call is Chelsea and I actually did the role playing. So I was the coach and she was the challenger, the person I was messaging. And I was like, hey, Chelsea, how are things going? Thanks for commenting on my post. I appreciate your support. I would love to have you join us. This group is going to be so fun. Are you interested in more info? Then she gave me a response back, and we just played, like role played how it would actually go if we were to message each other. But the funny thing is Chelsea, that I was role playing with, and now she's my business partner, I actually did this to her back 4 years ago. And so it's like, it showed real life application of how it can grow from an invite to a group to an actual coach on your team. Or here's a sample of a cold reach out. And we just make it super easy for them. And then we went through on our Zoom call and actually role played this and showed them, what would you say? Here's how I'd say it. Because they just want to hear, what are you saying? How are you saying it? And showing that we're not trying to be robots here, but just putting your own spin on things and using your own voice. Then the next message, awesome, I'll provide the recipes, tips. So we give this to them so they can just copy, paste it. They don't have to try to find the words. It keeps it so simple and clean for them so they're not over, like writing too much or whatever. And it shows them exactly what to do next in a step-by-step fashion. Then I did post in here, how do we run a clean eating group? Here is a doc of how do you set it up, what's your daily post, etc. Here's a sample menu to upload to the files, and here's the shopping list. So we went ahead as a team and just created all that stuff. I'm sure you guys are doing this too, right? But are you walking your new coaches through how to set up a free group step by step? Yes, no? Is this like old news? You all know this stuff? I can't tell, nobody's talking to me. Thanks, Myra. Myra nodded her head. Yay, we got one. Okay, that's totally fine. If it is old news, that's fine. But I still learn, like when I hop on Zooms and things like that, I still learn from other coaches. Like I'll hear a way they do their verbiage or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that better than what I'm doing. And it helps me. So even if this is a repeat, still kind of pay attention because it's good to have a refresher. Because what we're focusing on, I know you know how to run a free clean eating group. That's not it. It's how do you take that into your team, because what you might be really good at is probably what it's so natural for you that you're so good at it. It's very hard to teach. So breaking it down systematic, step by step, so they won't fail, helps them to be successful. So that's just one example. You could do this with how to host a group open house, how to talk about a face-to-face opportunity or whatever. So another one I like to do is the 3-way call. You guys ever done 3-way calls? This was so scary for me in the beginning. So I was like, what did they ask me something? I'm supposed to know it. But really, people just want to know, like, what did you do to be successful? So 3-way call. So why should we do this? First and foremost, by saying, hey, get people on the phone and I will just do this for you. It shows your team that you're a confident leader, that you can take them to the next place. And that's what they want. They want a leader that is willing to show the way, to go the way, right? And that's who you are. So you're willing and wanting to hop online or hop on the phone and do this. Number 2, it allows the new coach to just kind of be a fly on the wall and to hear you in the moment. It's one thing to go back and kind of say, well, what I would have said to that person is blah, 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 blah. But then to actually hear a question come up and you're like, oh, well, it's this. they're going to learn so much more from that than like a script. Agree? Sort of. And then it also gives the new coach the confidence to recruit. And I remember Teresa did this for me in the beginning I had a new coach that I signed up, and I was super scared to do a GSR call with her. So I asked Teresa if she would do it for me, and she's like, sure. So I just listened in, and it was very helpful to hear her confidence, to hear that she didn't have to have magical words. It was just her being herself and sharing her story, and it worked perfectly. And it gave me so much confidence that, okay, I could do that. So if you put yourself in your new coach's shoes, that's probably how they're feeling. Like, can I do this? And then they hear you and they're like, oh, I could totally do this. It's nothing. So you set it up. So first this is a way for them to qualify you as a coach. And instantly when somebody gives you props, it makes you seem more professional or more qualified, or like you have all the answers, right? If you're like, oh, meet my friend, she's the best hairdresser ever. That gives her more props than her going, I'm the best hairdresser ever, right? So this is a good way for them to set it up. So they're talking to someone in a message or in person, and they can simply say something like, my upline coach, Teresa, has been doing this for a while and would be able to answer any questions that you have. Her job is just to listen to you and to give you some suggestions based upon your situation and goals. I would love to set up a 3-way call with all of us. Do you prefer morning or evenings? So then they can message back and forth and find a couple of times. And once they do that, then they can send the PM to you and say, okay, I have this girl so-and-so that's interested in coaching or interested in my challenge. I don't really know what to say, but I'd like for you to talk to her. Can you do this time or this time? Which is better for you? Then you as the upline send it back and say, I can do Thursday at 9. That works perfect. So then she'll say, okay, Thursday 9, we're on. Have your coach call you and then conference in her friend or whatever, and then you open up the call and say, hey, whoever, Julie, it's so great to have you on the phone today. Tell me how you know Teresa. And then just listen. Oh, that's great. And I know her we used to work together at the mall, and we reconnected on Facebook, and now we're business partners in Beachbody. It's so fun to be able to work with our friends, right? So how this call will go is that I'm going to share a little bit of my story so you know who I am. Then I'm going to have Teresa share her story of how she got started as well. And then we'll chat about what's going on with you and what your goals are. It'll take about 20 minutes, and at the end, I'll give you a few options. Sound good? So then from the beginning, they know exactly how it's going to go, how much time you have for them, and it won't run like an hour. It's going to be short, concise. Okay. So share your 2-minute story. Like, make it very brief. Why'd you become a coach? What's happened? Where are you going? Boom, done. They don't need to know all the whole story yet. They can always look that up later. Then have the new coach share her story, because her friend already knows who she is. And so by hearing the new coach share that, they will relate to that more, because they're like, oh, I remember when you were there. And oh, now I can see why you signed up here. And I can see where you're going. That makes sense. And they'll connect with that way more than they'll connect with who you are. But sharing the two different stories, you just never know what's going to come out to that person. And so then start with some potential or some questions for your potential client. So this is somebody that might want to join a challenge. And then down here, I have somebody that might want to join join as a coach. So just some examples, and you guys can read through those. Can you see? Yeah? Okay, perfect. So this just kind of goes through them, and it focuses more on really qualifying their why. So I think the biggest one that I love to use is, who would benefit the most besides you if you achieve those goals? And because then that gets them to think about the heart, like, well, my kids or my husband or whatever, and that's when it really comes out and they become emotionally connected to you because they just opened up. So then I end with, okay, I have the perfect plan for you. And I only say this if I really believe it. So if they're like, I just love to run, I just want to train for a marathon, then I'm not going to say, well, you should do sides. They're going to run. If they want to run, they run. So what I would say is, so nutritionally, I'm sure you like to put the best in your body. So I definitely think you should start with Shakeology and maybe the 21-day fixed meal plan, or You might want to cross train with hammer and chisel for runners and give them a couple suggestions. But if they're just, the majority of people just want to come in as a challenger. So this is how I close the call. Okay, I have the perfect plan for you that you'll be able to work into your busy schedule. It's called the Beachbody Challenge. You'll get a workout to do at home, and I think you'd like either 21 Day Fix or Size. And Teresa can email you the video links to watch them and see which one you like best. You'll get a simple nutrition plan to follow and a dense, nutritious shake to keep you full and to help fight those cravings you were just mentioning. Plus, you'll get one-on-one coaching and invited to our VIP accountability group for support. How does that sound? And then, perfect. I'll have Teresa follow up with you in an email with your different options and how to get started. It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited to work with you and to help you, whatever. You know, lose 25 pounds before summer. Yay! Okay. And then if they're a potential coach, now the potential coaches, I only do these calls if they've already been on in a coaching sneak peek group, or they've only, if they've already seen like the FAQ on coaching, which is 25% off. You make 25%, la la la. So they know those things, so I don't have to rattle off bullet points. That's not really what this is about, right? So they've already looked that over. They still have some questions. They're getting on the phone with me. We do the same kind of intro, and then I start with this. Are you familiar with Beachbody programs or products? Oh, sweet. Which ones have you done? Is it collecting dust? Awesome. Well, what are your fitness goals right now? And besides helping people, which is what we all want, what excites you about this business or piqued your curiosity? So what are your business goals in the next 6 to 12 months? And why now? Who would benefit from you becoming a coach besides you? Awesome. Okay, so then what other questions do you have for me? And really during this, I'm not talking a whole lot. I'm asking questions and then qualifying their answers with being an active listener, like, oh, I understand how you felt. We were broke as a joke too. And it was scary to not have any money at the end of the month. So yeah, earning an extra couple $100, it would make a big difference. Okay, so now why now? Who would benefit from you becoming a coach besides you? Well, my family, my kids need braces, da, da, da. Oh man, I know I have 5 kids and I actually just am getting braces on my daughter. So I am actively listening and connecting to them so they see that I'm a real person. Okay. In the end, I'm like, okay, awesome. Or you can say whatever you want, obviously. I think you'd be a great addition to our team because, and I give them a genuine answer because I can tell you have a really kind heart because I love the energy I'm feeling from you from the phone because you've always been into fitness and dang, what would be better than getting paid to be fit? So in fact, we have a new coach training starting on, and I always have mine start on February 1st. Is that something you'd be interested in joining? And they usually are like, oh yeah, I'd love that. Awesome. Well, you're going to need to get signed up first. So I'll have Teresa follow up in an email with your different options of how to get started. Feel free to message either of us if you have any other questions. I'm so looking forward to working with you. So, okay, I'm going to stop share so I can see your pretty faces. Was that helpful at all or not really? You guys doing that? This is a great time to give me some feedback or questions. My coaches are all chiming in. This reminds me of when I signed up. Yeah, we used to do this all the time. Yeah. But the thing is now you have to do the exact same thing with your people. So what questions or feedback do you have?
Emma, I love it. You know, one thing I've done a lot with my newer coaches when they're feeling like insecure is we'll do Zoom calls pretty much the same where we'll do like a 3-way but a Zoom, and the connection face to face has been huge. But I love the script too. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, and then if you just type up, like I used to just wing it. I'm like, I know what to say, but I realized if I didn't type up what I was doing and have a format or an outline, then it was hard for them to duplicate. But once I typed up like what I was saying, and then now when people are like, hey, so my new coach so-and-so is talking to somebody and is trying to sign a coach. Can you help with that? I can say, you know, you're the leader. Here's the script. You go do it. And then they're like, oh, okay, but I'm only an emerald, or I'm just barely a new diamond. I don't feel confident doing that. Don't worry. You can't fail. Here you go. Follow this. Speak from the heart. And I think it empowers them to lead faster. Because, you know, when we sign up to coach, even with our first challenger, we're a leader, and I don't think people understand that. And the longer we keep people under our wing, the more we're enabling them to stay there. And so, I mean, I keep coaches like with me as long as they want to be, but I like to kick them out as fast as I can to do their own stuff, because then they feel like that whole I can do this thing, and then they want to do it more, and they want to do it more and more. So, all right. Any other questions? Good feedback, Rhonda. Yes, Zoom is better. No one? Okay, you ready for your assignment? Yay! Okay, your assignment is in the next week. You're gonna do 5 recruiting ops / whatever you wanna call this with your downline. So challenge your coaches to get you on, like, not 5 per coach, 5 total over the next week that you're gonna Zoom with and do this 3-way outline. Somebody that's not really confident in recruiting yet, and they're trying to grow into an Emerald or whatever, because your goal is that you want to, if it's a brand new coach, you want to help them to get to Emerald this week because it's the last week of the month, right? Or, you know, if somebody is pushing for rank like Diamond or whatever, help talk to them. And even if, like, you want them to start recruiting people that kind of not intimidate them, but the people they admire and respect, right? You want people that, on their team that are going to push them to the next level. And sometimes it's hard to talk to those people because you're a little intimidated. So maybe having you there would help them to have more confidence because you got their back. You're going to be talking about how awesome they are as a coach and how lucky you are to have them on your team. And then that will help to raise their confidence level. So 5. And so after you have your 3-way call, I want you to post the name of who it was, who did you guys talk to, and then what was the outcome of the call. Are they signing up? When are they signing up by? And so post those on our page so that way we can start seeing everybody do this. And so your goal is 5. Sound fair? Yes? Some of you gave me the angry look.
5 before next week's Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you want to ask the leaders? Not even in regards to this? Okay. Have a great week, y'all.
Thanks, Emma.
Welcome.